Okay, this is our last slide, and this actually is going to show the criteria you need to obtain in order to be mortgage ready. Hopefully you've learned some information in the previous slides in regards to your credit and what you can actually do to help that along. But this is actually going to tell you specifically what you need when you're actually wanting to buy a home, or maybe perhaps you're wanting to refinance. Okay, the minimum credit score, as you see there on the screen, says 580 to 660. Now, most home loans that you're going to qualify for are going to require a 660 credit score for the best financing. However, we do have a product for an FHA loan that goes down to 580. But again, when you have a lower score or you're in a special program, it's going to be a little more expensive and sometimes a bit harder to qualify for, but it is a possibility. And these things do change all the time, so you have to make sure you stay in contact with me as to what the new guidelines are, because again, they do change from time to time. Now, in order to get a regular FHA loan that isn't a special program that we do at 580, I believe it's 640 that you need. But then again, there's a Home Path loan that they're going to want a 660. And again, these are scores they want for somebody that's putting down 3 to 3.5%. Okay? Just trying to give you an idea of what kind of score you want to have. You always want to have the highest score you possibly can. But if you are in this range, we can possibly do a home loan for you. Now, refinancing, they're probably going to want scores a bit higher. We don't do refinancing on the 580 program. That's on a purchase basis. But again, I'm always available to answer any of those questions. The next thing we're going to look at is the last 24 months of your rental or mortgage history. We don't want to see any lates on there, so that's another thing you need to be real careful that you're making all of those on time. No 30-day lates. And your funds need to be seasoned. What that means is they need to have been in the bank, usually for at least 60 to 90 days. We are going to ask for 3 bank statements. So you want to make sure, well, actually 2 bank statements, but it's going to show a previous balance on the first bank statement. So that would lend you to say 90 days. So you want to make sure your money's been in the bank and it's seasoned. And that's even if you have money that's gifted to you. We want to make sure their money is seasoned as well. And 24-month employment history. If it would be very helpful is if it's in the same type of career, because if not, the underwriter, depending on your whole scenario, may not be comfortable with you switching jobs and only having, let's say, a 6-month history or a 12-month history. Keep that in mind. Debt to income ratios, that means that 35 to 45% of your income is used up by debt. Okay, and that includes your home loan that you're applying for. So that just gives you a basis on what we're looking for. We want to make sure that you're not overextended past 45%. And, depending on your situation, if you have some late payments or if we're always going to use common sense when getting approved for a home loan. So we always take a look at the whole package. And if you have some what we call compensating factors, things that would offset a negative, then we may be able to go a little higher. But that's why I say 35 to 45% debt ratios, because it's really going to depend on your entire situation. Okay, and then your down payments, of course, depend on what type of loan you're getting. If you're a first-time home buyer and you fall within the guidelines of FHA, you can qualify for 3.5% down payment. And depending, sometimes we have new programs that come along the way that will assist you in down payments. Sometimes a seller will actually pay some of your closing costs, but that all is subject to change and subject to availability, so you can always contact me. Now, if you are actually wanting to buy an investment property, of course the down payments for that will be much higher. I hope this has helped you, and as always, please give me a call. Come on in and let's sit down and take a look at your situation and get you mortgage ready. You can always reach me. This is Priscilla. My number is 559-417-1245. Thanks so much for taking a look at this series, and I look forward to meeting you in person. Take care.